Hey, what's up guys? Jeff Robbins here, finally back with episode 6 of Dyno tuning the Briggs LO206. We're going to be doing some lash testing. I definitely apologize for the delay, just been busy with customer engines and I wanted to get a few races on our engine before I beat it up on the dyno trying to test a bunch of lash. I've got a feeling this won't be too nice on the seats and the valves. So you know what, when we're done testing the lash, we'll go ahead and we'll do a top end rebuild video as well. So in this one, we'll start out, we're gonna move both the intake and the exhaust valve in tandem. So we'll start out, we'll do 0 lash, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 thousandths and see what effect that has on the engine. So let's go ahead and let's get on the dyno. Okay guys, so dyno pulls are done. Let's go ahead and pull up this data and see what we're working with. So I did 6 dyno pulls. The first one I did was no lash, 2000s, 4000s, 6000s, 8000s, and 10,000s. So we'll go ahead, we'll open them all at the same time. I'm sure by now you guys have seen how I pull the data from each of these tests. Okay, so if we're looking at it, it looks like no lash is down here at the bottom and it increases as we go up. So no lash came in at 8 horsepower. Looks like it dropped a little bit to 7.94 for 2000s. Jumped back up to 8.1. Then it jumped up again to 8.17 for both 6 and 8000s. And then I did a top-down dyno pull. That's why we're seeing this up here. But I've got the other value in the spreadsheet we can look at. Torque's going to be kind of hard to see as we need to actually select our little section to be able to see where that torque came in. But just looking at this, the horsepower definitely increased as we increased our lash. So, you know, let's go ahead and open up the spreadsheet. So if we look at it, I've got 0 lash up here. We've got our 8.01 horsepower. It came in at 5,062 RPM, dropped a little bit for 2000s, and then it slowly increased as I increased the lash. So that's kind of interesting. And another thing I'm noticing is where the horsepower, the peak horsepower came in the RPM range, also increased as I increased the lash. So with no lash, peak horsepower came in at 5,062 RPM, and then with 10,000s lash, peak horsepower came in at 5337 RPM. And you know what, you might be looking at these thinking these are some real low numbers. I have a hydraulic dyno, so when the oil heats up, I mean it's 100 degrees out there in my garage, so that oil within the system is already hot, and when oil gets hot it gets thinner. So we just don't see quite as high of numbers in the result, and I don't want to be messing with my math channels to compensate for that, so I just leave my math channels the same. And I can definitely assure you this engine's definitely not down on power. So we did see the slight increases as we made changes, which we wanted to see. So this sheet will be shared publicly. The link will be in the description. So if you want to come back and review this, you're more than welcome. But here is the results from the different tandem lash setting changes on the Briggs LO206. Okay guys, there you have it. Round 1 of lash testing in the books. The engine doc is going to be available online, so if you want to go back, check out the results, that's going to be shared publicly. So in the next one, what we'll do is we'll just move the intake valve. So say we'll set the exhaust at 2000s, and then we'll move the intake valve 0 through 10 thousandths and see what effect that has on the engine. So again guys, plan your race your plan, have a good time at the track.